We're going to right click here and go into import from file. And we're going to go down here. Let's go into our safeties. And I have a lean protect. You can just populate this. What this is going to do is take a look at your lambda target error, how far you're off from your lambda target. And it's going to be comparing it against the map pressure. So when we're in boost and we're leaner than the target, it's going to be able to potentially turn into a lean protection. This strategy will work excellent. I'm actually going to set this right here to 3000 RPM, just so that we're at 160 kPa of boost and higher. It'll have the lean protection. All right, so let's move here from our safety page. Let's jump over here to our VSS gear. Now in here, we can see the vehicle speed is set to digital input 2. This is for the plug and play application here, and this does have a vehicle speed sensor. So the digital 2 is where they pinned it from, pull-up resistors on, active edge here, rising or falling, it doesn't really matter. But that looks good in terms of the calibration here. We see that there's a calibration value of 0. Let's actually put something in here just to test it once we get things going. I do want to set up the gear detection, and I want to set up launch control and some other things that reference speed. So we want to make sure that we're having our speed sensor actually register and work. So we'll put some type of a calibration value in here, and then we can always tweak and adjust it here on the dyno. Taking a look under the setup here, we see that the driving wheel speed source is pointed to the general purpose speed 1, which we can see that's already assigned here from Link. And there's a driving wheel speed correction. Let's set that to 0 since we don't know if it needs any correction. And the acceleration source is also set to the driving wheel speed. So that should be all good. Everything is going to be functioning and looking at the front speed sensor. And again, we'll have to come back in here and check the calibration once we go to set up the gear detection. Okay, let's move over here to our closed loop boost. Now we did set up here in our boost setup a couple details in our previous tutorial. So looking at this boost source, map pressure. So we want to use the map pressure for the boost targeting as we put into our target table here. There are some options. We can see here map or general purpose pressure. General purpose pressure would be for the CO2 wastegate type of control. Map pressure is generally what we want to use for a typical 3 or 4 port boost solenoid. So we're going to stick with map pressure here as our boost source. The PWM output is set to ignition 8. So that's the output we've assigned and wired the boost control solenoid to. Right now we can actually test this here. We want to make sure that the state is low. We're setting a low side pulse, so I've powered the solenoid with one wire. The other wire is what we're going to be pulse width modulating on the low. If I go here to pulse width modulate on, and we do the test frequency at something like 30 hertz, I can hear the solenoid buzzing. You probably can't pick it up in the audio, but it's functioning. We know that's actually going to be all good to go here, so we'll click off. So when we go to start to use the boost control, it will function appropriately, at least on the output control here. Okay, so taking a look at some of our other settings, voltage compensation we can leave off right now. RPM activation, 2000 RPM and higher, that's good. Map activation, 105 kPa, that should also be good. So we have to be just getting into boost in order for the solenoid to become active and start to do anything. This just makes sure that at idle or normal cruise driving, we're not activating the solenoids. We have to meet both conditions for the solenoid to turn on for the boost control to actually do anything. So that's good. Taking a look here, deactivation timeout, we'll leave this at 0 seconds, that's fine. Active tables, now here's where we need to go and tweak and adjust some things. So we're going to go to interpolate between. Now we're using this particular feature for the boost control because we will be doing a flex fuel based boost control routine, meaning I'm going to have 2 target tables here, and we're going to be interpolating based on how much ethanol content we have in our fuel system. We'll interpolate between boost target table 1, which will be for petrol fuel. That's essentially our max scale for boost targeting for petrol, and then we'll have boost target table 2, which will be the max boost that we want to run for ethanol. And we can interpolate between these two based on the ethanol content. So if we're at 0 to 10% ethanol, we'll be primarily riding on our boost target 1. If we're at 70% ethanol and higher, we'll be on our boost target 2, and then we'll be interpolating between that based on where the ethanol's at. So if I have 40% ethanol, I'm going to be somewhere between the 2 boost targets. So we want to go into use the interpolate between options, click OK here, and click yes, it's going to populate these other 2 tables here. Now taking a look, we're going to go in and set up a couple additional details here for the boost targets and the wastegate or the feed forward table. So we set the target here.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.